What's going on, everyone? So at the time of this video, the weekly challenge that's just dropped is the Sunken Curse Mermaids. So that means we're about halfway through July, and that essentially means that we're getting pretty close to the new Curse sales event that's coming out. So I just wanted to make a video addressing some of the stuff we already know currently about it. So all these things I'm going to be talking about are either confirmed, they've been leaked, or they're a very safe bet to say. And also I have a good opinion for a release date, so if you want to find that out, please stick to the end, and yeah. Anyway, let's get into it. So this new event that's coming out is going to be very similar to the Megalodon in the way of how you got to activate it and that sort of adventure theme. And one of the big things that's coming in this update are things called Cursed Cannibals. And these are going to be very, very interesting when they do get released. They did state for the start they're not actually going to be available for everyone. You're going to have to get them by either randomly finding them, which is quite rare, or you have to get them by defeating the new AI ships. So I want to quickly just go over some of the cannibals that have been confirmed and some of the theories that have come out. So yeah, anyway, so this cannibal actually came from the developers themselves, and this cannibal is actually called the Cannibal of 1,000 Grogs, and it does exactly what you'd imagine it would. It just makes the crew and anything it hits drunk. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to work with skeletons, but I'm sure it'd be pretty funny to see some drunk skeletons walking around on a ship. The other one that's actually confirmed by the developers is ones that lock up your rudders, so that means you won't be able to turn your ship in any direction. So say if you're sailing towards a rock and someone hits you with that, you will not be able to get away from that rock. Alright, so this is moving on to more so to the theories now, but these are safe bets. There was one theory that came out called a Cannibal of Anchors, and essentially what that does is when you get hit with it, it drops the anchor. So say if you're fighting with someone and you shoot a Cannibal of Anchors into them, that could essentially just stop them dead in their tracks, so it could give you a really good advantage. And the other theory that's come out is a one called a Dance Hall Cannibal. So essentially what that does is it just makes everyone dance on the ship. I'm not entirely sure if there's going to be like a time limit that you have to dance for, or you can walk forward and cancel the dance, but I'm guessing, judging by how overpowered these things are going to end up being, I'd say there would be a time limit. Okay, so now moving on to the new ship called the Brigantine. This one is actually what I'm personally most excited for in this new update. And if it's anything like a real Brigantine, it's going to have 2 sails, which will be pretty good. Now, actually, I think this ship is meant for 2 and 3 people, because I think they're making the sloop just a primarily one-person ship, but it can be done with 2 people. So anyway, if it's anything like the real Brigantine, essentially it'll have 2 sails and 2 levels. So, as you know now, the sloop currently has 2 levels, but it will be a little bit bigger in the way of width and length. Now, there actually hasn't been too much information brought up about the new ship, so do take this with a pinch of salt. It's not actually set in stone, but it is a good possibility. And let's quickly talk about how you'll find these new ships, and these have essentially all been confirmed. So these Curse ships will essentially be sailing randomly like you see in other crew, but they will be AI controlled. Not all of them will come to you. You can choose to engage them like you do with a skeleton fort. You can also find them held up on islands, and I did actually hear somewhere, I'm not sure if this is true, so this is just another rumor, and have the possibility to rise up next to you, sort of like the Megalodon does. And from what I heard, this will sort of be like a moving skeleton fort. So, I mean, if you're by yourself and you've got a massive hull, so this is a new challenge that they're actually adding into the game, and I'm personally really excited about this. Now, let's move on to some more miscellaneous things about this update. Of course, they'll be adding in new bowspirits and just new ship customizations and clothing customizations, and possibly even a new weapon, but that's essentially a given because they do that every time they bring out a new update. And also, the other good thing is there has been rumors that apparently they will be adding crabs into the Merchant Alliance. So, I mean, that could be like fishing, or maybe you could find them just scurrying around the sand on islands. But that'll be really interesting to see how they put crabs into the game. Alright, so moving on to the release date. Actually, this one isn't confirmed, and this is just completely my opinion, so this could be wrong. But judging by when they released the Megalodon update and everything else they've done, it seems that they do release things on Thursdays. In Australia, anyway, they release them on Thursdays, and Wednesdays over in America and the UK. And we know that at the time of recording this video, next week they'll actually be releasing information about it. So I wouldn't say it'll be coming out next week, but since it is coming out in July, that really only leaves 1 week left. So my assumption now is that it will be coming out on the 25th of July for America and the UK, and for us over in Australia, Japan and New Zealand and all these places, it'll actually be coming out on the 26th. So yeah, just keep in mind that's entirely my opinion, so it's not confirmed at all, but it is, in my opinion, something really good to go off of. So yeah, that essentially wraps up everything I wanted to talk about in this video. I'd just like to quickly say thank you guys for the support I've been having recently. This is really insane, but I'm sure you don't want to hear about all that. So yeah, if you want to know how to do all the new updates and Sea of Thieves within the first couple hours upon release, I do upload those videos, and for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've been the first to release it, so you can bet that when Curse Hours comes out, I'll probably be the first to release how to complete it, and how to find the AI skeletons, essentially within the first couple hours. So yeah, if you've enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the bell, and I'll see you guys later.